All right, fellas, buckle up because today we're talking about 10 Japanese motorcycles that completely outperform Harleys, and these bikes cost half as much. We're talking more reliability, better tech, smoother rides, and all without the giant price tag. Now, don't get us wrong, we all love that classic Harley, but these Japanese bikes are something else entirely. Some of them are faster, some are tougher, and a few might just blow your mind with how much bike you get for your buck. Stick around because number 4 is a monster that'll leave Harley owners speechless. Number 10, Honda Rebel 1100 DCT. Let's kick things off with a bike that Harley absolutely wasn't ready for. The Honda Rebel 1100 DCT. This thing came out swinging. It has dual clutch transmission. It's automatic, fellas. Twist and go. No clutch, no shifting. And guess what? It's got the same engine as the Africa Twin, a 1084cc parallel, twin pushing out about 86 horsepower. That's plenty to haul down the highway, pass cars, or rip through back roads. It's got modern tech too, ride modes, cruise control, ABS, and even a USB port for your phone. And at just 487 pounds. It's lighter than most Harleys in the same class. Makes it easier to throw around in tight spots or slow traffic. Now let's talk about price. You're looking at just over $10,000 brand new. That's half of what you'd pay for a comparable Harley with similar power and tech. Sure, it doesn't have that classic V-twin rumble, and yeah, the styling isn't everyone's cup of gas. Some folks say it looks too modern or not authentic enough. But man, once you ride it, all that noise disappears. You're left with a bike that's smooth, quick, and surprisingly fun. And the best part is that it doesn't wear you out. But if the Rebel's all about comfort and ease, this next bike is like a samurai sword wrapped in carbon fiber, and it is hiding technology. So advanced, even seasoned riders do a double take. What is it? Stay tuned and find out. Number 9, Yamaha MT09. Yamaha's MT09 is a straight-up riot. This thing misbehaves in all the right ways. You twist the throttle, and that 890cc triple-cylinder engine snaps to life with 117 horsepower of rowdy, grin-inducing torque. The power band is thick, the handling is sharp, and the ride is pure addiction. It weighs just 417 pounds, which is insane for the kind of punch it throws. That's nearly 200 pounds lighter than a Sportster S. It's agile, nimble, and loves carving through traffic or tight canyon roads. It also comes with a full electronics package. We're talking ride modes, traction control, slide control, wheelie control, yeah, that's a thing now, and a TFT display that looks straight out of a fighter jet. All that for about $9,800 brand new. Compare that to Harley's Nightster or Lowrider S, and you'll start scratching your head real quick. Downsides? Some folks say the stock suspension's a little soft if you're a heavier rider. And the styling? It's got that Transformer bug robot vibe, which is not exactly vintage, but it's mean and purposeful. The MT09 is built for riders, not just lookers. And once you hit that throttle, man, it's hard to go back. You know what you should also hit? The subscribe button. Yes, hit it. But hey, if this bare-knuckle street brawler just made you rethink that Harley dream, hold up, because what Suzuki's been hiding in the SV650 is a V-twin masterpiece that's damn super-powered. It's light, it's nimble, and it's got a cult following for a reason. Guess what bike it is? Number 8, Suzuki SV650. All right, time to talk about the SV650, the bike Suzuki refuses to let go. And honestly, we're glad they haven't. It's light, it's fun, it's cheap, and it'll outlive your pickup truck. With a 645 cubic centimeter V-twin engine, it pumps out around 75 horsepower, which doesn't sound like much until you twist the throttle and feel how quick it is. It weighs just 437 pounds, handles like a dream, and delivers roughly 55 miles per gallon. So yeah, it's quick and efficient. Let's not even get into the maintenance right now. It's crazily cheap and still reliable. And get this, it starts at just around $7,400. Brand new, that's used Sportster money, for a new bike that'll ride circles around it. It's also a favorite among new riders, track day junkies, and seasoned vets who just want a dependable machine that doesn't feel boring. The looks are pretty basic. You're not turning heads at every gas station. And it doesn't come loaded with rider aids or high-end tech. But that's kind of the point. Ride it every day, beat on it, commute, weekend tour, track day. The SV650 doesn't care. It shows up every time. Up next is a Honda that didn't just age well, it matured like fine whiskey. Classic lines, modern guts, and a ride so smooth it'll make your Harley feel like a jackhammer. But what's hiding under its retro tank might just be Honda's best-kept secret. And once you ride it, once you feel it, there's no going back. Number 7, Honda CB1100X. The Honda CB1100X is what happens when old-school style meets modern-day muscle. Think retro chrome, a big round headlight, wire spoke wheels, and then 1,140cc of smooth inline, 4 under the tank. This isn't some stripped-down lightweight. Nah, this thing's a full-size gentleman's bruiser, coming in at 573 pounds. But don't let that number fool you. Once it's rolling, it's balanced, stable, and so comfortable. It makes cruising feel like floating on a leather couch strapped to a rocket. You get about 88 horsepower, but here's what makes it shine. It's got torque for days and one of the smoothest throttle responses you'll ever feel. That inline-4 purrs at low RPMs and roars when you open it up. It's basically a Honda Accord with a shot of espresso and zero roof. Downsides? It's not gonna win a drag race. And yeah, it's a little heavier than most of the bikes on this list. But man, when you're carving through the twisties with that smooth roll-on power, nothing else matters. You're looking at around $12,000 new, but these are getting harder to find. Honda stopped making them in some markets. So if you see one, snatch it. Now, if you like your bikes with vintage vibes but don't want to baby it like a collector's piece, wait till you see what Kawasaki brought back from the past and gave a serious performance upgrade. This bike might be the best of both worlds. Number 6, Kawasaki Z900 RS. Now here's a bike that's got soul in the tank and snarl in the exhaust. The Kawasaki Z900 RS isn't just a throwback. It's a reboot with attitude. It's what happens when Kawasaki looks at the old Z from the 70s and says, let's bring this legend back, but make it rip. Under that classic bodywork is a 948 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine with around 111 horsepower. Smooth, fast, and a torque curve that'll keep your grin glued in place. It's got that instant pull, that twist-and-go energy that makes you want to take the long way home. It weighs about 474 pounds, which is super manageable for a bike this size. And the handling is shockingly agile. This ain't some wallowing retro couch. The Z900 rupees feels tight, responsive, and surprisingly modern when you're leaning into corners. Now sure, it starts around $12,150, which ain't exactly a good budget, but you're getting top-tier fit and finish, LED lighting, slipper clutch, traction control, and abs all baked into a package that looks like 1973, but rides like 2025. The seat can feel a bit stiff on long rides, and taller riders might wish for a touch more legroom. But that's nitpicking because this thing turns heads, performs like a beast, and still manages to be daily rider reliable. And while Harley's out here charging big bucks for bikes that look old, Kawi's doing it with real tech and real rideability. But hold up a second. If you thought this was old school done right, how would you like a light bad boy cruiser with even lesser muscle and all at an affordable price? Number 5. Yamaha Bolt RSpec. This is a stripped-down air-cooled V-twin, bobber style, minimal chrome, and a low stance that just dares you to twist the throttle. This is the Yamaha Bolt RSpec, and it's Yamaha's answer to the Harley Sportster. Except it's simpler, smoother, and cheaper to own. It's rocking a 942 cubic centimeter air-cooled V-twin, pumping out around 65 horsepower, and plenty of low-end torque that makes city riding feel effortless. The engine note is grunty, satisfying, and doesn't need an aftermarket pipe to sound like a bike should, and it's light for a cruiser, just 542 pounds. That means better fuel economy, easier handling in traffic, and less muscle strain in parking lots. The riding position is relaxed, seat height's just 27.2 inches, so flat footing at a stoplight is a breeze. And it's got that bad boy garage built. Look without you having to actually build it in your garage. Now don't get us wrong, this thing isn't built for the track. The rear suspension is a little stiff, and if you're tall, the ergonomics might feel a little cramped on longer hauls. But for short to mid-range rides, it's a damn vibe. Brand new, it'll only run you around $8,900. Try finding a Harley that looks this good and runs this clean for that price. So yeah, the Bolt is simple, sharp, and straight up fun. It is everything you need, nothing you don't. But if that's got you second guessing, everything you thought you knew about cruisers, what about a bike that's not about comfort alone? What about a bike that's packing a Suzuki secret that's been flying under the radar? And it will surely change how you view bikes entirely. Number 4. Suzuki M109R Boss. Suzuki M109R Boss doesn't play nice. This thing is big, bold, and built like a battering ram with a license plate. We're talking a 1,783 cubic centimeter V-twin that cranks out around 128 horsepower and enough torque to tow your neighbor's boat. You twist that throttle and it launches like a cruise missile wrapped in chrome. It's got a shaft drive, which means way less maintenance than a chain. And the brakes? Dual disc up front with beefy calipers. This thing stops as hard as it goes, which you'll appreciate when you're testing. Just how quick 0 to 60 really feels. The styling is all about aggression, fat rear tire, stretched tank, blackout details. The BOSS stands for Blacked Out Special Suzuki, and yeah, it looks the part. It's not subtle, and it's definitely not for shy riders. But here's the catch, it's heavy, like around 764 pounds heavy. Maneuvering it at low speeds can feel like wrangling a silverback gorilla on 2 wheels. And fuel economy? You're looking at about 35 miles per gallon if you behave, but let's be honest, you won't. Still, this monster is pure adrenaline. On asphalt and for around $15,000, you're getting a bike that outmuscles most cruisers in its class, especially the American ones. But if this brute has you fired up, the next bike is leaner, meaner, and tuned with sport bike precision in a touring body. Yeah, number 3 is where the comfort meets the madness. Number 3, Kawasaki Concourse 14, aka GTR 1400. This is a bike that's basically a ninja in a tuxedo. The Kawasaki Concourse 14, also known in other markets as the GTR 1400, is a hit in the touring world. Why? Because it's not just comfy, it's packing the same engine base as the ZX14R, one of the fastest production bikes ever made. That's right. Underneath the windshield and saddlebags is a 1,352 cc inline-4 with variable valve timing, cranking out about 158 horsepower. But here's the crazy part. It's got enough torque to pass an 18-wheeler uphill, 2-up, with luggage in 5th gear. No jokes. It weighs around 690 pounds, but don't let that fool you. It rides smooth, leans well for its size, and can munch highway miles like candy. You're looking at over 250 miles of range per tank, thanks to its 5.8-gallon fuel tank. Now here's a weird one for the trivia lovers. The Concourse 14 comes with a built-in shaft drive. But that's not the weird part. The really weird bit? Kawasaki designed it with tetralever suspension to eliminate shaft jack, aka the rear end, lifting up under throttle. Most riders don't even notice it, but that's the point. It works in the background, giving you smooth torque delivery without the janky rear end behavior you get on some other shafties. And it's not just fast and comfy, it's loaded. Abs, heated grips, adjustable windscreen, and keyless ignition. Back when Harley was still calling keys. Heritage. But there are some downsides. Yeah, it's a little porky in parking lots. And if you're not a fan of big fairings, this ain't your jam. But for $16,000 or less used, this thing will out-tour and outgun most bikes in its class, all while sipping fuel like a civilized gentleman. Kawasaki may have quietly retired the Concourse 14, but the next bike doesn't whisper power alone. It looks like a transformer and rides like an alien warship. Number 2. Yamaha FJR13000. The Yamaha FJR13000 ain't just a motorcycle, it's a machine built for miles. This thing's been around since 2001, and you don't stick around that long unless you're doing a whole lot of things right. First off, The heart of this beast is a 1,298 cubic centimeter inline-4, cranking out around 145 horsepower and 99 pound-feet of torque. We're talking 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds if you really get on it. Yeah, your touring rig just turned into a rocket. And here's something wild. Police departments around the world, including the US, use the FJR13000 as their go-to pursuit bike because it's fast, reliable, and tough as nails. The 6.6-gallon tank gives you around 290 miles of range if you're cruising smart, and it's shaft-driven so you can forget about chain maintenance for good. It also has adjustable wind protection, optional heated grips, and later models even came with electronic suspension, and you can get all these for less than $12,000. Now, is it perfect? Not exactly. It's heavy, about 640 pounds wet. And the seat? Let's just say it's made for touring comfort, not bar hopping. Also, the stock screen can buff it a bit if you're tall, but hey, that's what aftermarket parts are for. But here's what makes the FJR special. It's that understated power. It doesn't yell, it doesn't beg for attention, it just does the job. And if you ride one, you'll find out why its owners stick with it like a favorite pair of broken-in boots. Now, remember how this bike was trusted by law enforcement? Well, coming up next, we've got a machine so light, so wild, some riders called it the jet without wings, and it's finally time to reveal number one. Number one, Suzuki Hayabusa. This is it, the one you've been waiting for. The Suzuki Hayabusa, aka the freaking falcon of the motorcycle world, aka the bike that scared the living hell out of European regulators back in the late 90s. This thing didn't just push boundaries, it burned them to the ground. Let's start with the basics. 1,340 cubic centimeters inline-4, 197 horsepower, 114 pound-feet of torque. Top speed of 186 miles per hour because manufacturers had to agree to limit it. Yeah, the Busa was so fast they literally scared the industry into a gentleman's agreement to cap future bike speeds. And here's what's even wilder. You can snag one for under $12,000 used. We're talking supercar performance for the price of a used Civic. Now, yeah, it's a sport bike, but it's also a long-distance monster. The wind protection is killer. The seat is actually comfy. You've got a 5.5-gallon tank that'll give you around 210 miles of range. And the smooth power delivery means you can tour with it all day, as long as your wrist can handle it. But it's a big old girl at 586 pounds wet, and parking it can feel like docking a spaceship. Also, it's not exactly beginner-friendly. I'm saying this ain't the bike you teach your nephew on. But man, this machine has cult status. It's in rap videos, racing games, and internet folklore. People have drag raced them, turbocharged them, even stuck jet engines on them for kicks. True story, a guy in the UK built a turbine Busa. It sounded like a fighter jet. So if you want a bike that turns heads, kicks ass, and holds its value like gold in a bunker, the Hayabusa is your weapon. It's been unapologetically fast for over 2 decades. We've got more legendary bike stories coming your way, so click the video that is coming on the screen right now. And trust us, you won't want to miss it. Catch you in the next video. Till then, ride safe, ride far, and ride loud.